off the bat, me and Chris just fell in love with it. We knew it was an older piece. Oh, look at that on the side. And the makeover that I would like to do it is one of those spool sewing cabinets, some gold embossing, do some writing, do some numbering. I can't wait to get to this piece. Hi guys, welcome to the channel. This is Yvonne from Ginger Chick Rehab, and if you are new here, a lot of times I will do projects with my husband Chris, and this video is no different. So in today's video, oh my goodness, anytime somebody offers you something for free, and you like it, I know there's those times, but anyway, oh my gosh. So a viewer, Diane, contacted us to let us go through her mom's estate early when she was having a sale, and then she also gave us this piece of furniture. Oh, as soon as I saw it in the picture, I knew exactly what I wanted to do to it. Well, today is the day, and we are going to get started on this beauty. I can't even tell you all the age. This is definitely a homemade piece, handmade piece. It has such a story to tell, and our goal is not at all to make this a pristine piece, but keep that character of its integrity. So before we can start creating on this piece, we have to deal with the issue. As you see, you should not be able to move a dresser like that. So even though somebody has done some movers on the bottom of this piece, it's just not stable. So the simple fix of taking off the old wood, putting on a new wood, making sure that it's attached properly. Look how quickly that just stiffened it up. Our goal was we wanted to rise this up. It just kind of looked weird hanging out on the ground like that. So we needed something very strong to be able to screw some feet into. And so what Chris is now doing is he's just marking off where the center is. He wanted to make sure that he had some good solid non-wood that wasn't dry rotted and falling apart to be able to screw these in on. As you know, if you're like me, when you move furniture around, you don't necessarily always lift it, you scoot it around. So you want to make sure that feet especially are good and on there. And then for some added security, because you know when we're pushing it around and you have this heavy of a piece, it's very easy to break those feet off. So he's putting in a couple screws going from the inside down into those feet. And then I need to take a moment with a nail set. So what a nail set is a little tool that you take a hammer. A lot of the little finishing nails that have been used on this piece are now sticking out, and I need to sand the top of this piece. It's got some damage on the top, but I don't want to ruin my sander, so I need to make sure that those are underneath the wood and lying flat. Now when it comes to the front of this, the drawers actually
you can see all of the wood they inset, they push in. So I want to save that integrity. I still want this piece to have that character of the old. I don't want to have to try to match up stain. I like the bumps and bruises of it all. It tells a story, but I want to go ahead and protect it, so I'm going to go ahead and get it taped off. And along with the back, I don't want to accidentally get any overspray on the back of this piece either. That wood is gorgeous. It tells the age of this piece, so we're going to take the time to tape off the back too. Now to clean this piece, I am just going to go with the straight Crud Cutter Deglosser. I know that it has been out in the weather. It's probably been sitting in a barn, what have you. I could tell, like the first cleaning of it, it needed something a little bit tougher than just some Dawn dish soap. Now that we have it up on the roller cart, just easier to get to this piece. I actually am going to seal this in with a couple coats of shellac. So I'm using the shellac to even out the porosity of where we got down to the raw wood, where there might be some finish coat on the top left. And then also this is going to act as a primer, and it's going to help my paint stick. Oh, and if you could tell what a beast of a piece of furniture this is. We have a spray room. Most pieces can fit in here pretty easily, but I'm almost doing a back bend over our work table to get this sprayed. Now that I've got 2 coats of paint on there, making sure that everything was covered, I'm going to go ahead and seal my ready-to-use black onyx flat paint in, is what I was using in the sprayer, with some polycrylic. Now I'm going to go back in with my mouse sander and use just the tip, and then all those sharp edges, that beautiful detail on these, on this beautiful dresser. I'm going in and distressing it, getting it all the way down, back down to that natural wood. And then after we get that all distressed, all those sharp edges, we're going in with some steel wool, some fine grit steel wool, and making sure that everything is nice and smooth. I'm going to use our air compressor to blow any of that sanding dust off, making sure that all the little particles are gone. We're in the workshop. It's kind of a mess most of the time, and definitely not a dust-free place by any means. And now to seal my black paint in and bring it back to life, I am just using the Howard's clear wax. So, yep, I'm not using, if you're a regular viewer, used to me using antiquing wax on black, but I did not want to do that. This is just a different look. It's just going to bring back that nice crisp black of this paint, and it's going to give another level of protection to this paint job. Then after I get all that wax on, I'm going to now take a towel and wipe off the excess wax. And it just leaves that nice, just a nice black with that just satiny, smooth finish. Now, even though we added feet to this, we're still going to add those little slides that help it move a little bit easier. And unfortunately, they have to be a little bit on the off center because there's the hole in the bottom of these feet. So as long as you have all 4 on there, that shouldn't be a bother. And sometimes Chris's fingers are bigger than what the little tack is on the bottom of these glides. Now that we have the body of this dresser nice and secure, it's rised up, it's off the floor, it's easy to move around. Now is my turn to tag in all by myself and see if I can get my vision out of my head onto these drawers, and there are a lot of them. So now I'm blessed to have a Cricut so I can actually make my vision come true. So first off, I needed to find a font where I could do the gold inset and then do the black lining. So after finding that font and then coming up with separating enough wording for 9 drawers, y'all, 9 drawers. And of course, they all are not the same. And then typing out, don't worry, I spell checked before I printed out. And then, yes, making them size appropriate to fit in between the knobs. And I wanted them to be a general size to fit up the most part of those drawer fronts. Now, I don't know you all who have a Cricut, you notice that sometimes when you go to make your lettering smaller and you try to get those little details of like that outlining, it just destroys it sometimes. It is just weird like that, no matter how sharp my blade is or how non-sharp it is. So I ended up just cutting the smaller words out, not using the outline. I already have my spacing of my words, so I knew that I could do like a 19-inch word and it would fit in between, or saying, and it would fit in between the knobs. So I'm just going in with a ruler, I'm marking off my center point, and then to make sure that it is centered, I'm going to go ahead and use a straight edge and then just mark it all the way down. So at least I have a little chalk mark of where my center is of each one of these drawers. Oh, how I would love to tell you that this was a fast job, but you all know, no, this was not. It took me actually a couple hours to create the wording, to weed all, yeah, to weed all these out, oh my gosh, just to get to the point of putting them on the dresser itself. So this is definitely one of those you have to love what you do kind of things. And this is the point I was worried about. Would that little bit of the double layer of outline come off when I took my transfer tape off? So I wanted to go in really gingerly, making sure that it was still attached. Other than washing off the drawer fronts, I did not want to take off that beautiful aged patina. So I was hoping that all those little pieces of vinyl would stay behind. So now that I have them all applied, and that was time consuming in itself, and it's okay, y'all, it's okay. But now I'm using some of this gold detail paint that I picked up, and I think it's going to be just absolutely beautiful. And now I'm going to go very gingerly in with a makeup sponge from the Dollar Tree store. And I know that it will take multiple coats. I'd rather put multiple coats on and have it dry fast in between than trying to glob it on. I want to make it look like this had been printed on there years ago, so I don't want to rush this process. And my next unsure would be, can I just go in with a needle and take that little piece of vinyl off without it taking off that other piece? Oh my goodness. So yeah, I was able to accomplish it. I really wasn't sure. I can't say that I've used this font very much in any of my stenciling, but it's the look that I needed to achieve to get the look that I was going for. So yeah, I'm like, oh yes, I can with a needle go in and grab that and able to take that little bitty strip of vinyl off. And next up, I'm going to try to find my smallest detail brush. And at this point, I realized I should really buy some more detail brushes. But now I need to go in very, very gingerly and just get that line painted. And I'm actually using the Waverly ink chalk paint to do my black outline because I know this will be a one coat coverage and that it will stick very well, and I can move it. Like the other paint that I used to paint the body of the dresser, I might have had to go back in and do a couple coats, and I did not want to have to spend the time doing that. So going to my tried and true, that heavily pigmented of that Waverly ink paint. After I got each individual drawer done one by one, I sealed that paint in with some polycrylic. And as time consuming as it looked to be taking all the little pieces of the vinyl off, it was actually took me longer to get the little pieces of vinyl attached from my finger into the trash area. And no contact paper on these drawers. These drawers tell a story, but they definitely could use a drink. So I'm going in with that same Howard wax, which has a citrus smell, and then giving these a drink, a fresh coat to liven them back up. And I'm actually not sure if it was the creator who made this dresser itself, but each one of the drawers actually was written in a waxed, I'm assuming in like a waxed pencil that has a number on it. So actually when we got the dresser, the numbers were not in order, but luckily we noticed that, and so now they're all back in order. And really it does matter because that spacing is really made for each individual drawer. Now I could be done and I could leave it as is, but I want to freshen up that front. So I'm just going to be using some of this Restor-A-Finish by Howard's also, and it's in the dark walnut. I want to give a little bit of age to that gold metallic paint I put on there. I'm not going to paint the knobs. I like the contrast of the two different woods. I could paint them black, but then your focus may be on the knobs more than my wording. And heck, there's a lot of knobs I would have to go in and paint. So yes, just freshening them up. So it's not necessarily going to cover up all the indentations and the dents and the whatnot, but it's just going to add a little bit more age. It's going to freshen it up. It's just going to just look like a refinished piece. And yes, I waited a whole day to make sure that my paint was good and dry before going over my lettering.
So did I tell you? Did I tell you? There is not another one of these pieces of furniture anywhere out there. There just can't be. Creating your own stencil. Yes, it's time consuming, searching, trying to find inspiration to get that right era of words down, making it an old trunk case. Oh my goodness. I'm glad that my vision actually turned out. I was a little bit nervous. Yeah, I was nervous. I wasn't sure if the lining was going to work. You just never know. Just because you can create it on your Cricut doesn't mean that once you put the vinyl on it that it works out. So let me know down in the comments below, did you enjoy watching this makeover? Anytime your vision can come true, oh my heart. So give me a quick comment down below. Have I inspired you in any way to look at secondhand finds in a new way? And if you just enjoyed watching the video, give me a comment down below on that. I know furniture flipping is not for everybody, but you know, it still has my heart and I very much enjoy doing it. So thank you for watching today's video, and as always, if you're part of our YouTube family, thank you so much. And if you're new and you're checking out this channel for the first time and you liked what you saw, please hit that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know we've uploaded a new video. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye!